Are you an online coach, business owner, or content creator, and you want more people to be interested in your services, your products, your business, but every single time you seem to speak about it, you get absolute crickets. No one seems to be interested and you're getting pretty frustrated. Well, in this video, I'm gonna break down how to get people to take action when you use call to actions, or as they're commonly known, CTA. For those who don't know, my name is Joe. I am a video editor and a content strategist helping online fitness coaches get more clients from their content. And this is a super common problem that I see where coaches, obviously that I specifically work for, again, you can take this and apply this to your industry, is that any single time that they promote their coaching services, whether they work with clients one-to-one, group basis, or maybe they're just giving away a free lead magnet and they wanna, increase their email signups so they can then sell to people there. Any single time that they feel that they mention their products or services or lead magnet, they get absolute crickets and they don't hear anything. So we're gonna break this down into 4 steps to actually increase the probability that people actually take action when you use these call to actions within your content. Now, the first concept is a concept that was taken from a pretty old but popular book from Gary Vee, which was called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. There might have been a few more jabs in there, but for the sake of this title, I've just used 2. So in essence, the idea behind this is that within your social media content, the jabs are your value. Now, of course, value can be perceived in many different ways. That can be educational, that can be entertainment, that can be inspirational. Value is a multi kind of facet thing. And in essence, the idea of the jabs is that you constantly provide value, and then once you deliver the right hook, that is your call to action. That is you telling people, okay, if you're interested in working with me, then you need to do this. Or if you want this free resource that I've built, you then need to, message me this, or whatever the call to action is, right? The only problem with this strategy, and this is probably why it's a book from, a little while ago, is it doesn't factor in what if the hook misses. And this is because, especially now with the old algorithm where it was very much, you would always kind of see the content from the people you followed. So if you was constantly giving away free value and constantly jabbing, it then meant that when you did deliver a product or you did deliver a service that you had to offer, most of your following would see that. So you could kind of rely on that as one singular post, rely on all that goodwill and all that trust and all that good stuff that you've built over the past few months, deliver the right hook, and a lot of people would, I was about to say fall victim, but that presumes that you're scamming them. But you know what I mean? A lot of people would obviously, take action and actually, buy your product, service, whatever it is, right? The problem with the algorithm now is that it's often, a large majority of the content you're seeing isn't from the people you follow, it's from what the algorithm believes that you are going to be most interested in based on obviously how you use the platform. So a lot of times, if I was to just post a load of free value for months on end, when I do deliver that one CTA or that one kind of, announcement video where I think it's going to blow up and everyone's going to be super interested in my services, most of them aren't even going to see it. 98% of the people aren't even going to see the video where you make the announcement, let alone the 2% that do. Half of them might, be doing something else. They might be on the toilet while they're watching your video. They might be out in public and they're sort of just doom scrolling away and they can't even have the volume on, so they're not even paying attention. And you're relying on that one hook to be the one that actually gets them signed up as a client or gets them onto your email list. So the first concept you really need to understand is that call to actions need to be a frequent part of your content, and it needs to be something that you consistently do, because you are unfortunately never going to know the one call to action that gets somebody to actually come into your services, right? Let's presume that you're selling your services. You do not know, someone might see a call to action from and they might be seeing them for weeks on weeks on weeks, and they're really interested in signing up your services, but they haven't got much money at the moment, and they're saving up, or they've just been hit by, they had a car accident and they've just had to fork out a load of money for something. They could have been right there, they could have been right ready to take action, but then that one single event then pushes them back for a few months. Or I believe I've forgotten the guy's name, it will come to me in it, Daniel Priestley has a theory, and I believe it's from him, and I hope it's not just kind of people quoting someone and passing it down. But here's a quote where it's around, someone needs to consume around 8 hours of your content before they even purchase anything from you. You know, it's probably slightly less if they're downloading something for free, but to purchase anything from you, they need to consume 8 hours of your content. So what gives you the right to think that you can just deliver one CTA and that's gonna be the one that converts them? I know from my own habits and obviously speaking to other people, whenever I've signed up to a service, I would have often heard the person talking about it quite frequently. And it will be that constant reminder, the constant jabs, what the book originally talked about. But within the jabs, there's frequent hooks as well. There might be a more direct CTA where it's like, right, you need to take action today, message me this. There might be a little left hook to the body where it's like, that was the worst hook ever. A little left hook to the body where it's a little bit more subtle and it's tagged onto the end of the email. There is often multiple hooks that need to happen for then you to, and when I say hooks, I'm speaking about boxing here, not hook of the video. There are multiple CTAs that you need to do to then get someone to take action. So that leads me on to point number 2, is you need to be tracking your call to actions. And I wrote here, I don't know how well you'll be able to read it, but you need to track the frequency that you're creating these call to actions, as it's hard to track the results, because unless you're using specific keywords and you've got like a ManyChat system and you can see exactly, you come up with a new keyword that everyone uses for every individual post, which I wouldn't recommend because that sounds like a logistical nightmare. But maybe if you had a massive company, there might be some case. But for most of us, that's going to be a nightmare. So you want to track the frequency on how often you're doing these call to actions, because if you're doing them on a frequent basis, well, then a law of averages would suggest that eventually, people are going to take action, and you're never going to know, if you're selling one-to-one coaching services, it might be someone, and it will be someone consuming your content for months and months on end, and then one day it just makes sense for them to reach out. Or one day, they're sick of just consuming your content and they're sick of seeing the results everyone else is getting and they're, stuck. So they go, you know what, today's the day. I've had a good month at work. I've saved some money. I've, just signed up to a new gym. I've just bought some new gym clothes. Whatever the situation is, you will never really know what is the exact reason the person chose to take action on one of your call to actions at that given moment. It could be, midnight thoughts and they're just going, you know what, I'm gonna reach out to Joe because my content absolutely sucks and I want it to be better. And of course, I'm gonna, message Joe to help me with that because he's the fucking boy, if you're not already subscribed to the channel. But you want to be tracking the frequency of these call to actions. So you would set this as a target like anything else. If you was trying to track how often you need to go to the gym, you do the exact same thing with your call to action. So you might go, okay, my goal is to do 4 CTAs a week. You then simply, on a week-by-week basis, providing that you're uploading, say, daily on Instagram, you then go, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And again, I wouldn't get too pretentious or too picky with the split days. You can often tell yourself these little mind games and these kind of bro science. I call it bro science because there's no kind of evidence to suggest what day of the week call to actions are most likely going to happen. But you can start to tell yourself stories that don't actually exist, but is the bro science of the content space. Whatever the days are, I wouldn't get too pretentious about that, but if you are consistently hitting 4 call to actions per week, I think that's a nice number for everyone to aim for. Again, this can vary. Often people will, and this is gonna kind of lead into point number 3, a question I often get asked is, what kind of call to action should I do? Should it be a direct message me this word or comment this word, or should it be a link in my bio, or all these kind of things? Ultimately, what you are looking to achieve with every single call to action is make it bloody simple to action. i.e., when the viewer is watching your video, you need to think about when and where are people consuming your content. For most people, that's gonna be sat on the couch, that's gonna be kind of doom scrolling away. As I said, it might be out and about, they might be on the toilet at doom scrolling away. And what kind of state of mind are they in? If I had a free lead magnet and it was the exact same lead magnet, but there was 2 ways for me to promote it. There was comment a word, so you literally just need to comment the word apple, right? You need to comment the word apple, and then you get sent my free nutritional plan, just because it's obviously food and that's where my brain went. But you then, I don't opt for that option. You have the option, of commenting apple, or you have the option of going to the link in my bio and then filling it in a quick type form, and then I'll send you the free lead magnet. Which do you think is gonna get more signups? The one where someone just comments a word and they get it instantly, or the one where they're doom scrolling away on their feed, they've then got to watch the full video, they've then got to click on my profile, they've then got to click on a link in my description, they then got to fill out a type form. There's so many steps, there's so much friction for them to get onto the free lead magnet, they're not gonna take action. But if it's as simple, and you can make it as simple to action by literally just having a keyword where they need to comment, and boom, they've got the lead magnet, you're more likely to get more signups. And again, people try and overcomplicate this process of trying to come up with clever words or funny ways to put it in. Ultimately, you have to presume when people are consuming your content, they're probably in their most docile, dumb state of mind. So even when you are choosing words to use, let's say you are going with the DM me the word or the comment the word, you want to make it a nice, simple word that everyone can spell. Because again, if it's words that people are spelling wrong often, or it's difficult for them to type, and you kind of make it not clear what they really need to. Again, if you're going to have a keyword within the video, make sure that it comes up on screen pretty clear what they need to put in the comment section. I like to have it within the video, but then also the top line of the caption, I'll put comment keyword to get the free lead magnet or whatever it is. So you need to make it simple to action. I can't emphasize that enough. Far too many people try and be way too clever with their CTAs and end up just overcomplicating it and confusing the viewer. So you really need to think about this. The less friction there is for someone to action, and the more simple it is for someone to action, the more action that they're gonna get. You're gonna get more people interested in your services, sign up to your lead magnet, whatever it is. Now, once you've gone through step 1, 2, 3, you are then able to ask yourself step number 4. And is that, and this is a tough one to ask yourself, do people actually want the thing? Again, you're only allowed to answer this if you've gone through point 1, 2, and 3, because if you just jump straight to this, you then don't have the evidence and don't have the required work to answer this question accurately. Now, this is a really tough conversation to have, because you can spend a lot of time on a free lead magnet. You could really believe that your services are great, but the result will always be what you deserve. And that is just the brutal nature of business. I've made lead magnets in the past that I thought would be absolutely wicked and end up getting, a couple of people signed up to my email list when I thought this is gonna be the one, this is gonna get me hundreds of signups onto my email list. It gets about 4, and I could be really upset and take it personal and blame the audience, or call people stupid, or just get really frustrated at myself on why people aren't downloading it. But ultimately, the result will be what you deserve. If it's a good product, if it's a good service, and you tick off all of these 3 steps, then you will get people to action your call to actions. But if it is a lead magnet that nobody's really interested in, if it's a product that doesn't really have any demand, or if it's a service that doesn't stand out in any particular unique way, well, then people probably aren't going to want the thing. So once you've gone through step 1, 2, and 3, you then can have the difficult conversation with yourself. Do people actually want the thing that I'm promoting? Great. If they don't, that then gives me the opportunity to work on something else and to promote something else and get better, which is really tough to do, but is kind of what we all sign up for when we do this online business stuff. So yeah, hopefully that you found this video useful. I am currently doing a challenge here on YouTube where I'm trying to upload 30 days in a row. We are currently on day 11. So if you have found this video useful, I would really appreciate it if you drop it a like. And if you are new to the channel, I make content on all things content creation for online fitness coaches specifically. So I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions on this, of course, feel free to drop a comment as well. And I will see you tomorrow for day number 12.